Welcome to Frenzy Facts, the podcast where we dive into the supernatural and paranormal myths and legends that have captivated people for centuries. From the mysterious Loch Ness Monster to the bloodthirsty Chupacabra, we'll explore some of the most fascinating and chilling tales from around the world. I'm your host, Chris, and let's get started. Scary myths and folklore are a subcategory of folklore that often involves supernatural or paranormal elements. These stories have been passed down for generations and have become part of popular culture, captivating people's imagination and giving them chills. Myths and folklore often serve as cautionary tales, warning people about the dangers of certain behaviors or beliefs. Scary myths and folklore, in particular, often serve to frighten people into behaving in certain ways or avoiding certain situations. Many scary myths and folklore involve creatures or beings that are said to haunt or prey upon humans. These can include ghosts, demons, vampires, werewolves, and other monsters. These creatures are often depicted as powerful and malevolent, and their mere presence can strike fear into the hearts of those who encounter them. In addition to monsters, scary myths and folklore often involve supernatural events such as curses, possessions, and hauntings. These stories are often based on real-life events or experiences, adding to their authenticity and making them all the more terrifying. Overall, scary myths and folklore offer a glimpse into the darker side of human imagination and the deep-seated fears that have been passed down through generations. While these stories can be terrifying, they also provide a fascinating insight into the human psyche and the enduring power of storytelling. The Banshee is a supernatural being that is deeply ingrained in Irish folklore. The word Banshee comes from the Irish term Bean Sidhe, which means woman of the fairy mound. According to legend, the Banshee is a fairy woman who serves as a harbinger of death. The Banshee is often depicted as a beautiful woman with long hair and a pale complexion. She is dressed in a flowing white gown and is often seen combing her hair with a silver comb. However, her beauty is said to be deceptive, as her mournful cries are said to signal the imminent death of a family member. The Banshee is said to appear to a family before the death of a loved one, warning them of the impending tragedy. Her cries are described as a piercing scream, wail, or a lament, and are said to be heard throughout the night. Some legends even say that the sound of her cries can shatter glass. According to tradition, the Banshee is linked to certain Irish families, and her appearance is considered a sign of good fortune. In fact, many Irish families see the Banshee as a guardian angel, protecting them from harm and watching over them from the spirit world. Despite her reputation as a bringer of death, the Banshee is often depicted with a sense of compassion and sadness. She is said to weep for the dead and to be a source of comfort for those who are grieving. Overall, the Banshee is a haunting figure in Irish folklore, a symbol of the thin line between life and death. While her mournful cries are often associated with tragedy and loss, she also represents the enduring bond between families and the power of Irish mythology and storytelling. The Chupacabra is a creature of legend that has fascinated people in the Americas for decades. The name Chupacabra comes from the Spanish words chupa, meaning suck, and cabra, meaning goat, and it is said to be a small, hairless, and reptilian-like animal with sharp teeth and claws. According to legend, the chupacabra attacks and drinks the blood of livestock, leaving behind a trail of mutilated carcasses. The creature is said to be able to leap great distances and move quickly and silently, making it difficult to track or catch. The first reported sightings of the chupacabra were in Puerto Rico in the mid-1990s, and since then, there have been numerous reports of sightings throughout Latin America and the United States. Many people believe that the chupacabra is a real creature, while others dismiss it as a myth or a hoax. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, the legend of the chupacabra has captivated people's imaginations and sparked numerous investigations and studies. Some scientists believe that the creature may be a type of wild dog or coyote with a genetic mutation that causes it to have a hairless appearance and unusual behavior. However, the mystery surrounding the chupacabra continues to intrigue people, and the legend has become a part of popular culture, appearing in movies, TV shows, and other media. Overall, the legend of the chupacabra represents the enduring power of folklore and mythology, as well as the fascination with mysterious and unexplained phenomena. While the truth behind the creature may never be known, the legend of the chupacabra will continue to captivate and intrigue people for generations to come. The legend of the Kukase Kana is a popular and terrifying Japanese urban legend that has been passed down for generations. The story goes that in the late 1970s, there was a woman who wore a surgical mask to hide her grotesque disfigurement. She would often approach young children on the streets and ask them whether they thought she was pretty. If they answered no, she would take off her mask to reveal her mutilated face and attack them with a pair of scissors. According to the legend, the Kukase Kana's appearance is similar to that of a woman in her 20s or 30s, with long hair and a white surgical mask covering the lower half of her face. She is often depicted wearing a trench coat or a long dress, and carrying a pair of large scissors. Some variations of the legend also describe her as having long, sharp teeth, or as being able to transform into a ghostly apparition. The origins of the Kukase Kana legend are unclear, but some believe that it may have originated as a cautionary tale for children to avoid talking to strangers. Others believe that it may be related to the practice of yobai, which was a tradition in some parts of Japan where men would sneak into the homes of women they were interested in and try to seduce them. Regardless of its origins, the legend of the Kukase Kana has become deeply ingrained in Japanese culture and has inspired countless horror movies, books, and even video games. Many people in Japan still report sightings of the Kukase Kana, particularly in rural areas or late at night. While there is no evidence to suggest that the Kukase Kana is a real spirit, the legend continues to be a source of fascination and fear for many people around the world. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and share it with your friends. We'll be back soon with more exciting content, so stay tuned. Oh, and here's a piece of advice. Always trust your instincts.